Alright, welcome to day 60 of our journey to Platinum here in Elden Ring. Our goal throughout this playthrough is to literally be the most thorough environmental playthrough you will ever see of this game, down to collecting the last row of fruit. We're going super thorough through these environments, and also trying to be thorough with things like NPC interactions and things like that. We're trying to do as much as possible. And like I said, a big focus is environmental exploration. So yesterday, we made it through the Royal Moon-Gazing Grounds where Royal Knight Loretta was at, and then made it over to Ranni's Rise. So all of this land surrounding the manor hasn't been explored yet. So I think we're going to work on that today. Because before, the reason why I didn't explore through all of this was, of course, because of the fact that before you go to the manor, you've got like the glintstone stuff just falling from the sky as you're trying to explore this area. So I decided to wait until the manor itself was done. And from what I could tell yesterday after testing it, it looks like all of the glintstone falling from the sky has subsided. So I would imagine that it must just stop once you defeat Loretta. So it must be her that's doing it. So that is cleared out. Nothing falling from the sky anymore. All of this land down here is done right beneath us, so it's really just this upper stuff that we've got to do. So, even though we're being super thorough environmentally, I'm going to try to fly through as much of this stuff surrounding the manor today as possible. Some of the upper stuff we technically can't access from down here. We're going to try to reach everything that I can by just walking and riding around. And then we'll have to actually fast travel up to the Grace that's past the moon-gazing grounds. It's hard words for me to say, apparently. Tripping over my words, tongue in my tide right now. Yeah, so then we'll just fast travel up there and do the stuff that you access after you do carrion, because some of it you can't get to unless you've made it through. And you know what? I just realized something, I realized when I was watching back some footage, I always call it Carrion Manor, but I guess technically it's Caria Manor, Caria. Not that it really matters. It's all made up anyway, but I still want to be as close to pronunciation as possible. So the closer the better, because then we all know what we're talking about. We all know what's going on. We're all on the same page. And I think, so a lot of this land surrounding the manor, I have a feeling is relatively empty. Of course, we've still got to go through it. It's all part of 100%ing. We got to go through it and make sure that we get as many crafting materials as possible. Oh, okay, so actually, I stand corrected. There's literally stuff right here. This is why we're going so thorough environmentally. You never know what you're going to find. Have no idea. If you've played it, you have an idea, and I have played it, but I don't have much of an idea because I have short-term memory loss, and I often don't remember what an area has until we get back to it again. Okay, so let me sort of work my way backwards a little bit here, because there were a couple bushes I didn't look inside of, and we got to make sure we check all the bushes. Look at that, bushes right here with stuff. So I just thought maybe you'd like to know that, because I've been recording so much today, because I recorded for quite a while for Minecraft Survival, there's an ulcer that is forming on the side of my tongue because I've just been talking so much, and it's like the spot where the ulcer's at is just being irritated by my teeth as I talk. It's consistently just making it worse and like ripping it open, I think. It does not feel good, that's for sure. Okay, so this whole little path is good. Let's go up to where these coffins are at. Check inside of them. And see what we got. Oh, there's rats surrounding the coffins. They've probably been feasting on the corpses, which is disgusting. Look at the purple sky. Very pretty. The purple sky is much prettier than the image of corpses being eaten by rats. You remember Pizza Rat from years ago? I remember that going, for whatever reason, it was trending on YouTube, and it was just a rat in the New York City subways pulling an entire slice of pizza. That's some old school video right there. Old school memes, if you will. Which I won't. So this we got to go back through because that little section there I haven't gone through. But let's go ahead and check this first and kill all the rats. All the rats that are desecrating the corpses. Corpses is one of those words that feels like that should not be the plural of it, even though I'm pretty positive that is the plural of corpse. Ooh, and there's a big one here too. You jerk, you jerk. You're all gonna die now, Mr. Ratatouille. Would you? Okay, seriously? Sometimes when you're on horseback, it's like you cannot hit anything. It's also my incompetence, though, that's probably causing that. Alright, so a bunch of gold rune 3s, a gold rune 1. What is this one? Gold rune 5. Very nice. Gold rune 4. Lots of good stuff. Lots of nice stuff. So along this edge I went, so we know that part of the environment is good. Let me kind of wrap my way along these back corners and stuff. Make sure that we got everything. There's shrooms. And I'm gonna yawn again like normal. I've yawned a couple times during you know how I've been saying the past few episodes of this series that I always end up yawning when I'm recording this because of the fact that I've already been recording usually for a few hours by the time I get to these videos, because of the fact that I record Minecraft first usually. But there have been a couple times I've even yawned during Minecraft, so clearly I'm just exhausted all the time. Even when I'm on video 1 of the day. So this, alright, so all this wrapping into here gets back to that stuff. Let me make sure there's nothing in these bushes. This should be good. Alright, so everything back here is done. So this was the stuff that I wanted to kind of wrap back towards. Because up on these rocks is kind of what I didn't look at as we passed through here earlier. And I just... because we're checking all this stuff, even these things up on these rocks, I just want to make sure. I've always got to make sure that there's nothing there. Wait, is it not raining on these rocks? It seemed like it stopped raining briefly, and it seemed like it was just while I was standing on those rocks. That was kind of weird. Unless I was just imagining it. Maybe I'm smoking too much crack. Okay. Yeah, see, it's not raining now, right? Maybe just when you're under the trees. That doesn't... It would still kind of make it past the trees, though, right? That's weird. Yeah, it is. It, again, has stopped raining. It's so strange. And then, hang on. Let me wrap my way around this. Make sure there's nothing. I don't think there's anything in any of these bushes. I think... Oh, that's what I saw a second ago. There's pupe here. There's pupe. You know, saying pupe always reminds me of... So, I remember a Good Mythical Morning episode, Red Link, where... I'm sorry. Where they were talking about... It was supposed to be like... Is this actually the name of the body part or something like that? I don't remember exactly what the game was that they were playing. But they said, I think it was like the puce and the prepuce or something like that, that Link was supposed to guess what that, or no, maybe it wasn't what, maybe it wasn't if it was an actual body part, it was just what is the body part, with like no context. They were supposed to guess what the body part was just based on the word. So I think for prepuce or puce, and I think the two words go together, he said tonsils. And apparently it's your foreskin. So I don't know why there's like another word for foreskin, but clearly there is. And it's either puce or prepuce. I don't know, I don't remember which one. Oh, I was looking at that. Like, what the heck is that? You know, sometimes it takes you're looking right at something. It takes your brain a second to process what it is. That was me just now. Okay, and then so this takes us back out into a bunch of the stuff that we were just at. So I kind of focus on everything on this side of the path to begin with, and then we'll continue over to the other side of the path. But there's a lot of the problem is there's a lot of bushes in these back corners, so I'm just trying to make sure that we go through all of them, pick up everything that's there. And yeah, this is much, much easier without Miss Loretta, if that's even who it was. And I'm 99% sure it was, but this is much easier without Miss Loretta flinging stuff from the sky at me all the time. Flying through this much, much quicker. And I'm sure I could have gone through all this while that was going on, but I just feel like I would have been hit constantly. It would have started to piss me off. And I just would have... I would have just, eventually probably given up. Oh, so that hits since that's the edge, it throws you off a torrent. Dang it, why... I hate when the line like that isn't quite right, where it throws you off of torrent, even when you're not... Yeah, see? I'm not even in Caria yet. Caria. But it still throws you off of it. But this game is nearly perfect, so I guess nothing is perfectly perfect. So, oh, and I've been hearing some more stuff about the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. And of course, since I'm going through this playthrough right now, I haven't jumped into the DLC yet. And so I've been hearing some more stuff about the difficulty level of it. And a few days ago, in one of these episodes, I mentioned that we briefly talked about the difficulty surrounding the DLC. Like, I don't have any context for it right now since I haven't played it. But I was talking about how I had kind of heard that people were complaining about the difficulty level. What is with my yawning? It's driving me nuts. The difficulty level surrounding it, I had heard some people talk about it. But I've been hearing about it again, and people actually being upset that it's so difficult. But it seriously, like, after hearing that people have genuinely been upset, it seriously is so surprising to me, because that's just how FromSoft always is. The DLCs are always really, really difficult, almost to, like, an annoying level. Like, that's just kind of how their DLCs always are, because the base games are obviously always super difficult in any FromSoft game. And so it just tracks that a DLC, considering the fact that usually you're going to jump into a DLC with a character that you've already beat the game with, so it tracks that the DLC is just going to be even worse. So I don't know. I don't know where all of the confusion is coming in with that, slash frustration and even anger about it. I don't know. It's like, you know that you're playing a FromSoft game. That's what this is. It's all about crazy difficulty. And I will say, like, I'm not completely, like, bamboozled by the fact that people are upset about it being really, really difficult, because, I mean, I know with the Melania fight, when the game first came out, people were super upset about how difficult that was, saying, oh, it should be patched and made easier and everything. And I didn't play... I think they did end up doing, like, a slight patch. Usually they're not going to patch out a ton of difficulty, though, obviously, because, again, it's FromSoft. So I didn't play the game, or I didn't make it to Melania right around the time that the game was released. So probably by the time I fought her, she may have been nerfed slightly. But what I'm getting at here is, I know that people were kind of complaining about that, and the reason that I say too that I kind of understand and recognize that maybe people will be upset about certain things being too difficult, because I know that when I played through Dark Souls 2 as well as Bloodborne, with both of those games, once I got to the DLC, I don't think I ever finished all the DLC for those games, because it was so difficult. And maybe that makes me Maybe that makes me a total scrub. I don't know. But I do always find that the DLCs are they're crazy. Crazy difficult. And it's like, and for me, I didn't complain about it. I just decided, I ended up not finishing the DLCs because I couldn't quite beat them. And at some point, I'm going to do, for both Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne, I'm going to do Journey to Platinum series for those as well. So I'll end up playing through those DLCs, but it's just, I understand, yeah, sometimes FromSoft stuff is excruciatingly and annoyingly difficult. But that's just kind of what you sign up for when you play their games. And rather than complaining, just don't play it, I guess, is my thought process. Alright, so all this stuff over here is good. All the stuff, yeah, basically everything on this side of the path is done. So, let's kind of work our way over to the other side of the path. There's not nearly as many bushes over here. So, this will be faster on this side. We can kind of just zigzag about, grab whatever we see. So, kind of where we're at right now. I kind of mentioned this here and there. I've been trying to do somewhat of a recap at the beginning of each episode of, like, here's what we did yesterday, and I kind of did that today. But here's kind of where we're at in my estimation in terms of what we still have to do, what we're headed towards, and everything. So we're almost done with, like, the actual land exploration of Liurnia. And then we'll be able to jump into... then we'll be able to actually jump into Raya Lucaria. Raya Lucaria, I mean, it's not that big. It's definitely big. And there's, from what I remember, a decent amount of stuff underneath the school as well. So, because of that, it'll take some time. Like, it'll be, to be super thorough, as we always are in this playthrough, it'll probably take 3 to 4 episodes, I'm guessing, to make it through there. I can't remember how many Stormveil took me, but I always feel like Raya Lucaria is smaller. Maybe not in terms of sheer size, but just it feels like it doesn't take as long to explore it as it does Stormveil. So, I don't know. Stormveil took like 4 or 5 episodes, I think, to make it all the way through. So, it'll probably take 3 or 4 for Raya Lucaria. So, that'll kind of be something that's coming next. And then, Brick. I hate that it takes me off when I need to just stop walking right up next to the building. So that'll be one of the things that's coming next is Raya Lucaria. And then, but before I like get to the end of Raya Lucaria, so sometime in the next few episodes, we'll have to go and wrap up some NPC quest lines because of the fact that I'm pretty sure, like I've mentioned before, I think Renala is one of the bosses that you don't want to beat without wrapping some of the quest lines, or else the quest lines will lock. So, we're going to have to do that sometime in the next few days because of the fact that we're getting closer and closer to where I'm actually going to fight Renala. But really, we could make it like right up to where she's at, and I just won't fight her until we finish those quest lines. But then after that, after those quest lines are done, after Renala is beat, and that will essentially mean that all of Liurnia is done, then it'll probably be time to head to Caelid. I'm thinking. That'll probably be where we head next, and then after that would be Mount Gelmir, where Volcano Manor's at. Unless, again, like I've changed my mind on the order of operations for this series at times, and kind of decided, well, you know what, maybe we won't go this way yet, maybe we'll go this way first. So that very well could be the case, but I'm just thinking that I'll probably end up going Caelid before Mount Gelmir. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. But first we gotta finish Caelid. We gotta get Caelid all buttoned up nicely and make sure that every last spot that our foot can trod has been trotted. That is the goal. Oh yeah, and there's like a little swamp thing over here too. I'm guessing that there's probably land octopi surrounding that. Usually there is when it comes to little swamp things like that. Let's check back this way real fast before heading over there, because this slopes down. At first, when I was standing up above this, I was kind of thinking that this was, for some reason, that this spot right here was leading to a cave, but it is not. Ooh, this is a cool view of everything. Very nice, very nice. You know something that I would really like to do, eventually, is because I've only been back to making YouTube videos after like an 8-year hiatus. I've only been back for, I think I'm right around 2 months now that I've been back. So I'm still in, I feel like, somewhat of just like preliminary mode still, even after a couple of months of just kind of getting videos out and stuff like that. And all of my old content I ended up putting private, so I'm sort of rebuilding my library and things like that. So that's why I'm doing series like this, where we're kind of just going thoroughly through games. But once I do this thorough series, even though I still want to jump into doing like Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3, and even though I've never played Dark Souls 1, I'd like to do a series on that as well. So even though I've got all that, I would love to, once I know that we've done like a ridiculously thorough series like this in Elden Ring, I'd love to then just start doing like multiple other quick runs where it's just like fists only, or like, I don't know, there's a ton of different like challenge runs we could do, or shields only, where I've got to just boop everything with shields. So I'd love to do stuff like that eventually too, once this stupidly thorough playthrough is complete. That's how I always like to do things. I like to do a super thorough version of a game, whether it's my own playthrough or whether it's a series of videos. I like to be super thorough first, and then it's like, okay, we've seen pretty much everything this game has to offer. Now let's do some challenge runs and stuff like that. Like that's kind of how I like to do things. So that very well may be the approach I take with this game as well. Because I don't foresee myself stopping playing Elden Ring anytime soon. It's just one of those games where it's not like you beat it and you beat it again and you beat it again and it's like, okay, I'm kind of done. It's like, no, it's such a big game. By the time you finish the game again, it's like the beginning of it's fresh. So with trial or with challenge runs, it would kind of make it where that wouldn't be the case as much. It'd be like you'd fly through. Hopefully, you'd fly through the run a little faster because I wouldn't necessarily do all the side bosses and stuff like we're doing in this playthrough. And so it'd make it where it's like, okay, maybe it takes us a couple of weeks worth of episodes to make it through a run, and then you start the game again. And you're doing a different type of run. I don't know. It's just some thoughts I've been having about that. Okay, so I'm still dodging and weaving in and out here, trying to make sure that I've collected absolutely everything. And clearly I haven't, because I'm still picking up pupe. Not prepuce, or puce, just pupe. Still picking up pupe, and I'm still picking up some other stuff too, so not everything has been explored yet. That's for sure. And then this loops back to where I was before. Glowing skull here though, and there's roa fruit right there that I hadn't picked up, so don't mind if I do. So in this, there's one of those things in this water that I think usually those are carrying an ash of war. I think those are like the invisible scarabs or whatever they're called. I feel like they must still be. They're probably still ash of war scarabs, technically, but just like an invisible version. I don't think they're they probably don't have an entirely different name. So it's just the invisible Ash of War Scarab is all it is. But I'm not seeing any land octopi surrounding this water over here, so I'm wondering if it's just you basically come over here for, of course, all the crafting supplies I'm getting right now through the environment, and you come over here for the Ash of War. Maybe that's basically all that's over here. Very well could be the case. But it looks like everything in here is clear. All the bushes are done. And then this sort of brings us to the edge of the water. But before I go into the water, there's still some stuff on the back portion of the water that I should probably run through quickly. And this is like, this is a whole other area where it just feels like there's not that much in here in terms of like you're not really fighting anything. You're just sort of running through. I mean, I haven't really fought anything besides those 3 wandering nobles so far. So it takes a while to do all the environmental exploration. But, I mean, I guess it would take even longer if there were actual things to fight around here. But I think every now and then I say all that because I feel like sometimes I hit a spot and I go, wow, I've been walking and talking for 20 minutes now, 25 minutes, and, like, barely fought anything. Because there's just so much stuff to pick up. We got to pick up all the things before fighting all the things, you know? You know what I mean? But then, okay, so this will drop us back down to where this little pond swamp thing is at. I guess it's more of a pond than a swamp, right? Yeah, it's probably more of a pond. And then this loops around to there. I did that. This is good. So then let's loop around just the edge of the lake real fast, I guess. Because then it'll give me a chance to go along this other side of the lake and make sure that there's nothing here before we actually pop Torrent's hooves into the lake itself. So what is that part of? Oh, so that's part of Bellum Highway. Okay, so that's Bellum Church there, and then this is that whole thing that leads down into this, like, crevasse thing, I believe. So, gives me an idea of where we're at. I wasn't sure what this, like, shared a border with. Oh, and you know what? You can. This would allow you to jump across. Yeah, because this can... Okay, yeah, that totally connects. I was wondering if it would when I was looking at this part of the map the other day. I was curious if it would connect, but for some reason I was thinking that it didn't. And so I think I could jump from here, but then once you're down there, you can't get back up. So you can access that side. You can access Bellum Highway from the Carrion side, but you can't access the Carrion side from the Bellum Highway side. It's essentially the information that I have just gathered. Always gathering information, always filling the old noggin with facts and figures and statistics. I'm really not, because I don't remember a lot of that stuff. Facts, figures, and statistics. I remember a lot of things, though, in general. Just not facts, figures, and statistics. It's usually more like, I don't know, less important things, probably. Okay, so we've made it over to this corner. Nothing else is left here. And this should loop us back around to where we were, almost, behind this pond. This takes a while, my friends, exploring such an extensive section of land. What an extensive section of land you are. Ooh. Alright, and then this, I think this is pretty much... This is back to where I was, right? Yeah, because I had looped all the way up here. Okay. Alright, so all the land is good. Let's just check the actual... Like, everything down in this, right near where the pond is. We'll make sure we got everything. We'll make sure we kill the Ash of Boar Scarab. And then, like I said, I don't think we can access anything else from here. So I'll have to just teleport, fast travel up to the Grace that's on the land past the Manor. So once we finish this water, we should be able to do that. And there's a lot of Trina's lilies along these embankments here. Might be a good spot to farm these. Although, I guess the thing is, the nearest Grace is right at the front of the Manor, now that I think about it. So you could run over here pretty quickly and pretty much only have to fight the nobles. Those, like, three or four wandering nobles, and then you'd be here. But the thing is, even though there was that one Trina's Lily, I saw two... Yeah, there's two here, so I guess maybe that's not a great section to farm Trina's Lilies, because it's really only... Well, okay, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. So maybe it's... Okay, maybe I changed my mind again. Maybe it would be somewhat okay farming those here. Alright, so everything here is good. Let's just... I gotta figure out the path of the scarab. I think he'll come over this way, right? Yeah. Gotcha. Alright, Ashavor, Hoarfrost Stomp. Hoarfrost? What is a Hoarfrost? Hoarfrost Stomp. Where are you, my friend? There it is. Hoarfrost Stomp. Stomp hard to spread a trail of freezing mist on the ground. The mist applies the frost status effect. Oh, wait a second. Have we fought something yet that's used that, or am I thinking of... I don't know why I was thinking that just recently we fought something that used that, but I'm actually now thinking maybe we didn't. Okay, so all this stuff surrounding is good. So now we need to go up. So I guess let's go to the Royal Moon Gazing Grounds. And we'll explore all the stuff outside. Oh yeah, I can't pull Torrent out in here. So we'll go probably back here first. And I think this must also connect to Bellum Highway. I think that's actually the spot I was talking about the other day. It wasn't this spot. It was this spot. I was wondering if this connects. So we'll go check out all this first, and then we'll come over here and explore all this, which has a lot of ruins and rises and stuff. Yesterday we briefly went over to Ronnie's Rise and spoke to her. Three sisters. Three sisters. Okay, so let the avid exploration begin. So the path splits a couple of ways, so let's do everything on this side of this path first, I think. It's probably what's going to make this easiest and make it easiest for me to connect everything in my head and make sure that we don't miss even the littlest of fireflies. Crap, this is my problem. Because I like to just check everything, I end up pressing right up against the building and then throws me off a torrent. Then I just get pissed. Okay, so is this the path? Yeah, this is the path that's leading up. It appears. It looks like. This could be potentially a little bit of a tricky area, though, as well to... Oh, that's a bunch of Michaelis lilies. Look at that. This could be potentially a tricky area as well in terms of being super thorough. Because of the fact that there's so much mist. It kind of makes it hard to see everything in front of you. So I've always just noticed that when there's a lot of mist in an area, I feel like I can't be quite as thorough. Because I don't recognize things as much as I'm running around the area, so I don't always know if I've been there or if I haven't. And then sometimes that results in me just not even going to a spot, because I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, through the mist it looks like I've been there, and then I actually haven't. And that's really, like, probably the absolute worst area in this game in terms of that is the consecrated snowfield. That is just ridiculous. Like, how much the snow is coming down in that area on the mountaintop of the giants. Like, you can't see a thing in parts of it. Not all of it. There's parts of it where visibility kind of comes back, but there's definitely parts of it where you're just basically playing the game blind. And those are the areas that we were talking about, people complaining about something being too hard or whatever. Those are the areas that I tend to find myself complaining more about, not because it's difficult, but just because I'm like, man, this is just annoying that you can't see anything all through this area. It's like, and I still have fun with those things just because I have fun with, there's just not really much in FromSoft games that I don't at least have fun with, but in those areas like the consecrated snowfield, where it's just so overgrown, or not overgrown, but just covered in snow and stuff like that, where you can't see your own 2 feet. Those are the things where I'm like, is this really, like, I'm still having fun because it's Elden Ring, but am I really, like, is this really that fun when you can't see anything? Look, the mountain has a separated butt crack. But yeah, it kind of gets to the point where it's like, all right, this, no matter what, I'm having a good time, but I can't see anything, and so it's diminishing my good time a little bit. So, I don't know, that's just kind of my thought process on that. And if you've played through the game before and been to Consecrated Snowfield, which is what I'm pretty sure that was called. I know that Consecrated Snowfield was an area, but I can't remember if that's the spot that you get to where, like, the blizzard has cleared and you can see again, or if that's the spot that still has all the snow. And I think it's the spot that still has all the snow, but I don't know. But regardless, if you've been there before, you know exactly what I'm talking about and how annoying it is. If you haven't been there before, well, we're still working our way up there, and we will get there eventually. And I still keep, so even though I'm not really passing back through the same areas again, been going not in circles, but checking through all this for a while now, and I'm still hitting spots just in this stretch of land where I haven't picked up crafting materials. So they are just strewn about this land for sure. Lots of stuff to pick up. And I'm excited that we're nearing the end of stuff in terms of just land, like land exploration in Liurnia. I'm excited to sort of wrap up land exploration here because of the fact that then we'll be able to head into Raya Lucaria, like I was saying earlier, and I'm really excited to get into a large dungeon area again. But then also that means that pretty soon we'll be moving on to an entirely new area. Like I said, which most likely will be Caelid. And so it'll just be, I don't know, it'll just be nice to have a change of pace, because we've been in Liurnia for quite some time now. So it'll be good to kind of begin moving on to the next thing. And I can't remember, is that... even though that looks like there's stuff underneath there, I don't think you can get to the stuff under there, right? Isn't that all just for show? Unless there is land down there. I can't tell, but I don't think there's land down there. I think that's all basically beneath Mount Gelmir. And that's why it looks like that, is because it's like all the volcanic rock has made Mount Gelmir just super deformed and stuff over the years, is my guess. I have no evidence of that, but that's my guess. So I don't think you can get to all that stuff underneath there. I think it's just for looks. For looks and giggles. I giggled at it when I looked at it. I don't know about you. Wait, so then this is, yeah, this is up where I just was. So like I said, I'm kind of going along this, like there's another path that runs through here, so I'm just staying on this side of the path, and then we'll work our way back towards the rises near the Three Sisters on the other side of the path. So as we head, what I'm trying to say is as we head back that way, we'll be on the other side of the path to clear that. But I'm just starting with this. Yeah, so like I said, this has got to be underneath Mount Gelmir. What am I looking at over there? Is that also part of... that must be that I'm seeing? I would assume? Yeah, that's got to be what it is. It's got to be the stuff up here. Because I can see that minor Erd tree, which is just past that. And there's some Wolveses here. Hello, Wolveses. I can kill you guys in one hit now, so... I mean, I've been able to kill them in one hit for a while, but still, it's still exciting. Just shred through those wolves like it's nobody's business. I think a lot of people in the south call them wolves. They're not wolves, they're wolves. Which is weird because of the fact that it sounds like someone's trying to say like the past tense of or yeah, they're trying to say maybe the past tense of wolf. But just doing it wrong, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. How far does this go? Holy crap, this does go so far. My goodness. These areas, these sprawling areas that don't even have much that you encounter in them are redonkulous. Is this just this has got to be Cerulean, right? Can you please? Oh, no. Okay, frozen armament. Sweet. So I'm glad that I did kill that. I was thinking it was just going to be a Cerulean thing. But I'm glad that I did not decide to ignore it. Can you not with all that? Can you also not with all that? You haven't done anything yet, but you will. So you're going to not with all that too. That's funny how the staff starts to rise through the air like that. Trying to get back to its master. Okay. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to heal again. There's some puke right here. Don't mind if I do. Okay, and this is where the wolves were that I killed. And yeah, okay, so we'll just keep plugging along down this side of the path. I diverted there just so that I could kill things. Because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that want to rip my head off in this game. And I don't know about you, but I feel very unwelcome. I feel very betrayed. Unloved and uncared for. Because just about everything you encounter wants to kill you. But again, I think I've said this before, I guess that's just the case when they all know you're going to be Elden Lord. It's just jealousy, really. Maybe that's the whole story of the game, is everything that you fight. It doesn't go way back to America and things like that. It just goes to the fact that they know that you're going to be the next Elden Lord, and they're mad jelly about that. And so their solution is to just fight you and try to keep you from being Elden Lord. Not for any other reason other than they're jealous. So think on that for a second. And the mist has cleared, which is nice. It seems like... Oh, there is a grace back here. So it seems like the mist is mostly just surrounding the Three Sisters. So where is this? So this is behind Caria Manor. Yeah, so this whole thing here is much bigger than I thought. I didn't even think there was a grace back here. And this line here is marking... What is that marking? There's like brown triangles. I don't know what that's marking. Okay, so I think there's just a little bit more on this side of the path for me to quickly check, just bushes wise. And then now that I know that there's a grace here, maybe now we'll turn around and head back towards the Three Sisters stuff. Because of the fact that I think it'd probably be better to knock that out and then come back here behind the manor. Because everything at the Three Sisters is sort of a dead end. And this looks like this is leading to something. Like there's some stuff down here. Okay, I'm going to work my way along this side of the path. Back up towards the Three Sisters. I'm going to collect feces and stuff on the way, row of fruit, just really anything your heart could desire, actually. It will be collected by me in the next few minutes as we run on this side of the path. But then, yeah, like I said, once we get up there, we'll try to explore everything surrounding the Three Sisters area. And I think everything that Ronnie has to say right now should still be pretty much exhausted. Like we exhausted her dialogue yesterday. I don't remember. I was trying to remember after yesterday what comes next with her in terms of what we... I guess in terms of what her next dialogue is, because I think the next thing, I had totally forgotten, but I saw a clip the other day that reminded me. I think the next thing that you really get from her, that you talk to her about, is the Divine Tower of Liurnia, and she gives you the key item that allows the Divine Tower to flip over, so that you can actually continue, or that actually I shouldn't say the tower flips, but the study hall flips, which then gives you access to the Divine Tower itself, where like the bridge to get there. So I think that's the next thing that she gives, but I don't remember how to trigger that. I don't remember what all goes into getting her quest line to that point. And for some reason, I think that it might just have to do with getting to a certain point in the game or something. I don't know, I don't remember. But regardless, after seeing that clip the other day, I remembered that that's where you get that item. And it's not even though it's a key item, it's classified like in your inventory as a key item. It's really just an hourglass that you put on basically like a pressure plate or a pressure table in the study hall. So okay, so yeah, this is still the side of the path that I want to be on, even over here, because the other side of the path has been explored all the way up this way. So I want to stick to this side, collect everything we can. Just got a nice crystal bed. There's a crystal bed for me. I need all the crystal buds, all the Roa, all the crystal buds. If there's some, I don't know, sunflower seeds, I'll take those too. You know, I've heard that there's different theories from people about the way that you eat sunflower seeds. I always, like years ago when I played Little League, I would always, and the reason that I mentioned that, even though that was like 15 years ago, is because that's really the only time I can think of when I consistently consumed sunflower seeds. Because it's just, I mean, it's sort of a common thing to eat when you're playing baseball. That and Big League Chew, it would always be those things. That's a lot of times what me and my teammates would have is sunflower seeds and Big League Chew. But I just always remember I would pretty much just like suck all the salt and all the flavoring off of the sunflower seeds, and I think usually that's when I would pretty much just spit it out and be done with it. I feel like I didn't really do much past that, but I hear that some people will actually eat the entire seed, I think, like swallow it. Don't quote me on that because I don't know if that's dangerous. But I feel like that's what some people do, and I've never done that. Couldn't be me. Alright, so let's work our way behind this real fast. I'll work my way around this rise. And then there's got to be like a clue or something on the front of it that talks about how to open it, because I did see that there's like a glintstone seal on the front of that rise. But then there's another rise over there, because that's Ronnie's rise, I believe, and then that one is like Prospector or whatever his name is, his rise. So I think that one over there is automatically open, but this one that we're circling right now is not. So I got to remember if there's a puzzle for it, and we'll know that shortly, because it should tell me at the front if there's a puzzle, and if there's not, then it just means I just simply can't access this rise yet, I guess. So we'll see. We will see very shortly after I finish checking all the bushes, making sure there's no Roa fruit or anything exciting. I doubt that there is, though. When I hear a scarab. Oh, there he is. Okay. I see him in those ruins, so we'll go down and get him soon. He's another Ash of War scarab. Let's see what he's got when we get over there. But yeah, so since we explored everything like over there on the north side of the path, now I'm trying to get everything done here on what I guess would technically be the south side of the path, leading up to this rise, and then we'll jump down this slope. So I'm just kind of going to the edge of the slope here. Then we'll jump down the slope and deal with everything surrounding Ronnie's rise, because we pretty much just sprint through yesterday and fought the dragon that just runs away, or flies away. So that was pretty much all I did yesterday, so I didn't really explore anything actually surrounding Ronnie's rise and check for items and crafting materials and the like. I just heard a noise behind me. I don't know what that was. I always turn around just hoping it's Charles. Just hoping that it's him walking around and not something or someone else entirely, because I live alone, and if there was someone else, that would not be good. That would be bad. I'm thinking, though, the economy right now, I know, just it's a terrible conversation topic, but we're not really conversing, I guess. I'm kind of just talking to myself for a really long time until you see this. But it's like leaving a long voicemail, basically, on YouTube, and then you come and watch that voicemail back later. And yeah, so I don't see a thing here that talks about... Oh, this is Rena's rise. Oh, it's interesting that you can slightly see through it. So it's blocked shut for now. Okay, yeah, so there's nothing that I can do with that at the moment, I guess. But yeah, it's like leaving a long voicemail. But what I was saying, the tangent I was about to head off on, was just since the economy's so rough, obviously everybody's looking for ways to make a little bit of extra money and stuff like that. And my sister, she's kind of nearing the point where she's going to be ready to move out of my parents' house, and she doesn't necessarily want to spend all the money it takes just to rent an apartment right now. I mean, like, it's ridiculous. Like, rent a lot of times for a lot of places is as much as my mortgage on my house. So it's like, at that point, if you've got the savings to be able to put a down payment on a house, you might as well just buy a house, because then you're getting equity consistently as you're paying your mortgage rather than just paying the landlord. But you don't always have that option. Like, I rented for quite a while because I didn't have the savings yet for down payment. But regardless, I say all that to say my sister's getting close to wanting to move out, and so she's considering, I've offered it to her, that she could just rent one of my spare rooms. And when I say one of, I really only have one spare room right now. So she would rent the one spare room that's available. And it would kind of help me out with paying my mortgage each month. It'd help her so that she's not spending $1 million on rent right after moving out. Stuff like that, you know. So we'll see. Could be kind of cool. Renting to my sister for a while until she feels comfortable going and finding an apartment. All right, let's do these ruins because I've kind of done everything immediately surrounding. All right, what do you got on you? What's your War of Ash of War, Chilling Mist? What does that one do? Let's check it out real fast. Chilling Mist is this one. Coats armament in frost and then coat armament in frost and then slash, spreading frigid mist forwards. The armament retains its frost for a while. Interesting. That's cool. So that's almost like if you were to enchant the weapon with frost, it doesn't last as long. Plus, it has like almost a projectile frost type of thing, which it wouldn't have if you just enchanted it with frost. Or maybe not. Is that the word in this game, enchanting it, or is it more just, or coat it? You would coat it in frost, I guess, because you can make like the whatever it is, like the frost grease, something like that. And there's not only so much to explore through here in terms of bushes and stuff, but there's like glintstone fireflies all in these crystals. It's a process, my friends. It's a process going through here. Any other fireflies here? Doesn't look like it. And it seems like these ruins are not super extensive. They're relatively open. We haven't really been in an actual somewhat intact room in these ruins yet. But I'm still just trying to look around and make sure that there's no spots where you drop down or anything. I don't want to miss like a room where there could potentially be items and stuff. And then, yeah, okay, because this was back to where that scarab was at. And then all of this stuff is just sort of like the open area in the ruins. And like I said, it seems like there's not really much to these. I keep hearing things. I continuously hear things. You know what would be real freaky? And I'm just gonna add to my unease right now and discomfort. What would be really freaky is if I like looked back at one of these videos one day and there's like someone in the background of my shot for a long period of time and I just didn't know. I don't like to think about that. Why am I thinking about that? I shouldn't think about that. Those are not good things to think about. I don't know where my dog is, though. He has disappeared. Okay, so I came up to this corner, and then that's the section of ruins that's done. So I think everything up to this point is probably good to go. Oh, wait, there's a mushroom here, though, that I didn't pick up. Gotta be thorough. Gotta be thorough. Just imagine if I had missed that mushroom. Imagine the uproar that would happen in America if that mushroom was missed. It would, I don't know, a second civil war might break out, if I'm being totally honest with you. Like, that's how serious that mushroom is. Speaking of, you know, we've talked about the economy, let's talk about politics for a second. It makes me laugh that, like, it's obviously, no matter what, no matter how you view things right now, the U.S. is in a pretty big, like, we're a mess right now, and we have been for a long time, just in general. And it was funny, after the debate the other day, I saw someone comment on, like, one of the stations that covered the debate, like maybe it was CBS or something. Someone commented on it on YouTube and basically just said, you know, after this debate, I'm starting to get really concerned that someone might win this election. And I thought that was hilarious, because it's like, it's hilarious, but also a little bit sad when you think about it. Because it's like, yeah, I think that's a lot of our mindsets right now. Is they're both kind of, both of our options right now are kind of a joke. So it's like, all right, well, we don't, it's not like we run the risk of electing the wrong one. We run the risk of electing either one. Like, either one is not going to be a great option. So it just, I don't know. And I don't see necessarily a clear winner. I think they're both a mess. And we really, so much so, wait. Charles must just be doing something. This is like the haunted episode. Yeah, we really just, we need a better system, I feel, than what we've got right now. But regardless, enough about that. I hate talking about that stuff. It just, that comment popped in my head that I'm getting really nervous that someone might win this election. Okay, so these crystals, I think, were done as well. And then I keep looping, because a lot of these ruins, I'm having a hard time telling, like, which ones I've been to, I guess, or at least which sections of each one I've been to. So I think those ruins are done. You walk all the way up here, kind of to the edge. Check all this. And you know, one thing that I'm probably hearing too, to be totally honest, is you know, sometimes once you start to convince yourself that you're hearing something, then like random things can sound like something you don't like. So basically, right now, since I feel like I keep convincing myself I'm hearing something, I think some of the noises in the game I'm hearing and going, wait, was that in my room? Or was that in-game? And most of the time, I think it's in-game. I think it's largely what is happening right now. Okay, so this is a whole, like, this is more of that section of ruins. And then this, that's Ronnie's Rise right there. So this area up here is also, like, pretty extensive, considering how many ruins there are. Or really, these are probably all kind of part of the same ruins, but just how extensive these ruins are, I guess, is what I'm saying. And then, like, Ronnie's Rise is pretty massive, as we saw yesterday. Okay, and then this gets back to those crystals. And then this is the path, yeah, leading up to her. Oh, I was wondering why the music kept changing. Yeah, something keeps seeing me. And trying to fling glintstone at me, but I won't stand for that. I will not let that happen. So then this here, oh yeah, see, there's still Roa here, so I didn't run through this part yet, which I was mostly aware of. I'm keeping my bearings, kinda, sorta. Not really, because I feel like I keep circling a lot. And then this is part of what? Oh, here he is. Okay, so these are those guys that like go invisible. So you start to hear him walking, and you're like, what the heck? I don't see anything. And I wonder, there's probably another one in this part of the room, right? Maybe not. Maybe maybe just the one in the other part of the ruins is still aggroed. Because I thought initially that was where that shot came from. Like where that glintstone pebble came from, but maybe it was in this part of the ruins. Hello? Are you in the room? Jason, are you in the room with us right now? Okay, alright, I think that's good there. Then we're good all the way up to here. Mess with those crystals. Then we've got a whole other section of crystals here as well. And then I think as far as, yeah, I pretty much only ran to like right here, didn't I, before? I think. So we still got bushes to check. Lots to check, lots to do. Why? There's definitely got to be something else spawned over here that keeps seeing me. Because why does the music keep changing? There's no way it was just one guy in these ruins, right? It's like, where the heck is this other guy at? Unless it's the dogs up here by the front of the rise that keep aggroing and making the music go all funky. Wow, that was weird. Ran right up to the tippity top of that crystal. Oh, hang on. Row of fruit. Don't mind if I do. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Oh yeah, and there's also like a little area that wraps behind this rise and sort of like through it too, like underneath it almost. Yeah, you're probably one of the things that was getting all hot and bothered about me, weren't you? I tend to have that effect on pretty much everything and everyone. Okay, so this side, we're basically to this. Basically worked our way through all the landscape up to this side of the rise. Careful there, because that's death. We'll go behind the rise in a second. Let me work my way through this, like, inner portion. I don't think there's any, like, access points or anything here, but there is a Trina's Lily. Thanks, Trina. I remember this throwing me off in my first playthrough, this glowing right here, because the glowing's coming from inside, but it kind of looks like there's something there that your attention is supposed to be drawn to, so I remember that getting all confusing. Or not confusing, but I just remember kind of like walking around that area forever in my first playthrough going like, what am I missing here? Is there something important? And as far as I remember, there's not. It's just the light from inside sort of clipping through the walls. Okay, so this is the back of these crystals. I don't need anything there. Checked all that out. And then this is the path. Okay, so we're like halfway through Uber exploring this area. We're doing good. Doing good. And then this heads, oh, you can actually get all the way, wow, you can travel far in here still on Torrent, which is interesting. I wonder how far can you actually go? Whoa, I can go all the way. I can go all the way to the Grace. That's crazy. You can be on Torrent all the way up to the Grace here. I figured like as soon as you got in the building, it would force you off of them. That is not the case though. I have just learned. You learn, you live and learn. You learn every day. I mean, I don't always learn every day. Sometimes I just do the same thing, and then I realize I didn't learn. Alright, and then is there anything back here? I don't know if there's just, like, space to walk back here, or if there's actually something hidden back here. Can you jump into that balcony from here? I'm curious about that. Oh, no, there's no way. That's just too high. Strategically placed. Because right inside there, inside the room that balcony is connected to, that's where that Grace is that we were just at. And I keep hearing something that almost makes me think that I'm hearing a scarab again, but I think it might just be the Grace on the other side of the wall shimmering. Very well could be. Ooh, there's another glowing skull here. Don't mind if I do. Thanks so much. Yeah, and it looks like it almost looks like there used to be extra buildings surrounding at least this rise, because the fact that there's essentially ruins connected to Ronnie's rise. which is interesting because usually there's not really ruins right pressed up against rises throughout most of the game. So Ronnie's rise must have been pretty special to have like extra structures connected to it at one point or another. Probably back before the shattering. Back before the Night of Black Knives. And it's really interesting when you kind of start to learn the lore, how yesterday we of course talked to Ronnie and confronted her with the information about how we thought that she was Ronnie the Witch that orchestrated the Night of Black Knives, and she confesses that was her. And so it's so interesting as you start to like pick apart the lore, how you've been kind of hearing about that, and how there was like this fateful night or whatever where some of the, like for the first time ever, a demigod was slain. I think is kind of, I think was part of the lore, and how it was just like it was a bloodbath all throughout the land and things like that. And it's just, I don't know, it's interesting as you sort of gather that information, and as you find out that it's actually Ronnie that orchestrated it, and she's someone that you encounter basically right at the beginning of the game. And you don't think that she would be capable of it, but at the same time, even the first time you encounter her, she seems like the type of person that would be very sly, like be able to sort of pull the wool over your eyes and make you think, like I don't know, like not even in a bad way. She just seems like she's got it all together, and she knows how to play the game, basically, which is why she managed to orchestrate the Night of the Black Knives, because she knew what she was doing. She had it all figured out, all the details. All the details were worked out. Oh, and you know, I should probably, now that I've talked to her again too, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea, where is this guy, to go back to the Round Table Hold and talk to Roger again, because of the fact that he's the one that has given me most of the information about the Night of the Black Knives, and about like wasn't the Scar Seal? Because he was the one that examined the Scar Seal when I gave it to him, and then he gave it back once he had finished examining it. And I don't remember where the other Scar Seal, or not the Scar Seal, that's not what I'm, that thing that came off of Ronnie's body that basically looks like stitches. I don't know why I can't remember what it's called, but you know what I'm saying. And so it might be, now that we've talked to Ronnie and she's confessed to that, I might need to go back and talk to Roger. I don't know if he adds dialogue after that, or if we even tell him about that. I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure, like, he dies relatively soon, I believe, because of his disease thing going on. Okay, so this part of the ruins is done. We got somewhat of an open area here. And I've just been trying to go through everything on this portion, like this side of the path, since we did everything on that side a little bit ago. I've been trying to go through everything on this side of the path, working our way down to the path that then leads to the other rise. So as soon as I finish everything here, then we'll head onto this path, work our way down to the rise at the other end of this path, and I think, like I said, I'm pretty sure we can access it now. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's already accessible. Okay, so this is good. Got more crystals here. Crystal meth growing out of the ground. Man, have you ever seen... I remember watching, like, a documentary about the way that... I think... I can't remember what it was. I think it was cocaine. I think it was... It may have been meth, but I think it was cocaine. How it's made, and just because obviously, like, the documentary was supposed to show how dangerous those types of drugs are, and so it was talking, it was showing how whatever particular drug it was that the documentary was about, it was showing how it's made, and it was basically like this group of guys in some like hidden village or something where like authorities weren't really gonna know what was going on. Basically making a massive batch of it, like in a kiddie pool, essentially. And I think they were pouring like, I don't quote me on any of this because I don't remember the documentary well at all. It's been so long since I saw whatever this is that I'm thinking of. But it oh yeah, so I think everything up here is done. So we basically just have this stuff down here and then this little section here on the side of the path. So I don't remember what they poured in, but it was basically like some sort of fuel. Like it wasn't like gasoline, or actually no, I think there was a little bit of gasoline that goes into it for some reason. And I think that there's a couple of ingredients or something like to make the production of it cheaper that go into it that add to the danger of it. So it's like, even though whatever it was, whether it was crack or meth, even though there's no version of it that's like safe, the documentary was talking about how there's a safer version if it's not the one that is made with this particular thing. And then of course now you've got the fact that a lot of stuff like that is being laced, causing overdoses and stuff, which is so sad. And just whenever I always talk about these things as things to discuss while we're exploring, but there's a very serious note to all that too that I always try to touch on before we move on to another topic. And it's just like, genuinely, if you are struggling in some way with some type of drug, first of all, do not be ashamed of that. Even though I talk about how dangerous it is, I think most people that struggle with hardcore drugs know that it's dangerous, so that's not a secret. But don't be ashamed of that fact. Like, just know that there is help. You can get help, and you can overcome even the most difficult of addictions. And I mean, even though I've never been addicted to any sort of hardcore drug, I've had addictions before that I've had to kick, and it's not easy. And so I can't imagine with hardcore addictive drugs how much harder it would be. So no judgment for me. I just say all that to say, like, don't live in shame and feel like you can't get help and that it can't be fixed, because that's no way to live. It can be fixed. It can be redeemed, and there is help. I've got basically like a second cousin. I don't know how all that works. He's my mom's cousin. But then like a second cousin to me, I would assume, is kind of how that works. And he for years has struggled with drug addiction. And there's been times when he's gotten clean, and there's been times when like he'll be clean for a while and doing really good, and he's feeling great, and he's like holding down a job and everything, and then something will happen and he relapses. And I get it, because again, even though I haven't been addicted to maybe those types of drugs, there's so many things that could be classified as a drug that you get yourself addicted to. And I've been in those places, and how it's so easy to relapse into like doing those same things again, same types of habits that you thought you had kicked. And so even though I don't know him personally, I hear stories about what's going on with him and all that, and he just, I don't know, like he's trying hard, but it's so easy to relapse back into it, and it's so discouraging when you do. Okay, so we're almost done here, and I did see that there's a seal on this rise as well, so I am thinking that maybe we're not even going to be able to get inside of this rise, unfortunately. So maybe there must be something I'm forgetting that eventually opens these up, is kind of my guess. But let me loop my way all the way around this rise, check everything, and then I'll go up to the front of it and see it. It most likely will just say the same thing that Rena's rise said. Because Ronnie's obviously is open, because we've talked to her. But then Rena's rise says it's blocked shut for now. So I'm guessing that this one's probably going to say the same thing. I keep thinking that that like textured thing is a ladder. I was getting excited at first. I was like, oh, maybe we can get in here. Maybe it's like a back entrance, but it's just some type of brick. It's not actually a ladder, unfortunately. Ooh, what was that though? Is that just a hole in the wall? What is this? Oh yeah, it's just a little spot. This also had some ruins connected to it way back in the day, I guess. Way back in the pre-shattering days. Okay, so that gives us a view down over top of Carrion Manor, or Carria Manor. And then pretty much looped around. Let me just check these bushes and stuff. Make sure there's nothing in the bushes. Okay, so let's see. Is this just gonna say block shut? Block shut for now. Okay. Sullivis's Rise. So we've got to come back here eventually, and I wanna check up on these walls. Actually, first let me check on the inside of the walls and see if there's anything in here, because sometimes there is. That one further south in Liurnia, we found something on the back of the rise like that. But then what about, so let's see if crap, that's kind of tricky. Trying to keep yourself balanced as you're walking along there, but I want to get all the way to the top here and just see if there's any items. Oh, so even that part. Oh, there is an item. Look at that. Ooh, the Black Wolf Mask. Let's see. Relic of an assassin who assumed the guise of Ronnie the Witch's loyal shadow. The likeness is striking. Oh yeah, that's right, because what's his name? Blythe. He's like her servant or bodyguard or something. I don't know, whatever he's considered. Let me see. So does this say the same thing? Yeah, that says the same thing. So what if I go all the way to the top? Probably also says the same thing, right? Yeah, okay, interesting. I didn't know that you could get up here that way. Oh, I knocked over did you hear that? I knocked over the books that are inside. Okay, so that's good. So there's just this little section here along this side of the path, heading back towards the manor that hasn't been checked out yet. And look at that, already. Glintstone Firefly. Got a glowing skull here. I will promptly take that. Oh, and I hear another, sounds like another scarab too. So I want to go check that out, see what he's got on him. Probably another Ash of War. Nothing super special. Oh wait, actually that might just be a regular Cerulean scarab, so I might not actually get anything I care about from him. Because it's not like there's barely been anything to fight around here, so it's not like I've used any of my stuff. Actually, I can use this though, because I'm a little low on my FP. Alright, so this is good. We got another glowing skull right here. Everything back here should be good. Like I said, we're almost back to the entrance of like the moon gazing room, which will mean that we'll be pretty much done with this area. Yeah, that's a regular, that's a Cerulean. Yeah, there shouldn't be, at least I think it is. I always second guess myself based on the color, but I'm pretty sure that that's just a Cerulean scarab, so I don't think I even need to bother killing it. I don't even need to worry myself. Just let it go. I'll let it go, because I can't hold it back anymore. And he's still down there. I still hear him. So maybe if he's still down there, in a second I'll drop down and kill him, just to be sure that Cerulean's all he's got on him. Because if it is, he is useless to me. But if he's got something special on him, then I would be most appreciative. Most appreciative. I've talked before, I think I don't know if it was in like the Minecraft survival series or in this, it all sometimes runs together, what I've talked about where. But I've at some point talked about how I love that, like it's so funny, that guy that has the character where he's like, and this isn't what he talks about every time, but it's just one of the videos I remember where he's like, I am into ginger ladies. All the gingers of the world, hit me up. Appreciate ya. And then whatever he goes into after that, I don't remember the rest of his speech, but I think that that's so funny. And it's funny too that like it's pretty smart that he came up with some sort of, like, whatever you want to call it, like some sort of character or something to just kind of say off the wall things. Because I think the dude's only like 16, so it's pretty smart that he came up with something like that, and it's funny. It's rare that you see. It's rare that you see a teenager that's actually funny. It's usually ridiculous, like ridiculous jokes that just are not funny in the least. Unless you're thinking of someone like Bo Burnham. He was pretty funny pretty early on. Okay, so all this has been thoroughly checked. All of this land has been checked like no tomorrow. The other thing that I wanted to see, though, is can I get, like, are there any walls that I could get up on around this one? I don't think so. I was wondering if it was similar to Sullivan's Rise, where I could get up on the walls, but it doesn't look like it. All right, so I guess that's going to wrap us up for today. So that means we got through all of this stuff, all of this. Or wait, we didn't get through all this yet, but we got through all of this. We've discovered each one of these rises. And so I guess we'll go behind the manor and work our way through that tomorrow, I guess. Because I don't think, I mean, this has been a pretty long episode. I probably should not continue. And this is a pretty large area, so it'll take a little bit to go through. So yeah, we'll wrap for today. Tomorrow we'll continue on through here. This looks like a dinosaur back, like a Triceratops is just like about to pop up out of the ground. So we'll continue through here tomorrow. That's going to wrap us for today. So if you enjoyed today's episode, I would highly appreciate it if you would leave a like, maybe a comment, and also hit subscribe. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow.